Hello everyone and welcome to Disc and Ball's Golf Channel, where today we have final round lead card coverage of the Golden Crescent Disc Golf Club presents the 39th Victoria Open, a HOTT Tour Qualifier. HOTT Tour is presented by Mint Discs. Special thanks to Ed Wing Daberkey for helping with camera work. And drone coverage is courtesy of Black Sheep Matrix on YouTube. Make sure to check him out and follow. After yesterday's rounds at Patriot Park and Fox Bend, respectively, Mason Ford and GT Hancock are tied at 20 under par, and Anthony AP Perkins and Matthew Hall are both tied at 17 under. Today's round is going to be at Riverside Park, and we're getting into it a little bit late due to scheduling conflicts. We missed the first 7 holes. Actually started on hole 6 because of the way the course is laid out. So pull up a beer, crack open a chair, we'll get started at hole 13. It's about 196 feet. I think the card says 220 or so, but it's usually some sort of left to right shaped shot. There is a spike hyzer option over this bunch of dead stuff on the right, but I don't think you'll see any pros doing that since they all have, you know, a 200-foot left to right shot. Did I say yards earlier? I don't know. I don't think I did. Anyway, first up is going to be Anthony AP Perkins.
Hold. It will.
You're terrible.
Oh.
Go in.
Catches that tree.
Man, I was looking forward to that.
Come here, you man. It's not me. No squirrel.
Mason Ford's up next.
Those were illegal too.
I don't know what he's throwing here. Some sort of harpish type thing, I would guess. Matt Hall of Mint Discs up third.
Go in.
Nice little turnover. Give it a good run. And then leaves GT hanging. Whoops. GT Hancock, of course. Nice forehand. Maybe a little inside, but it should be less than 30, I think, for birdie. AP a little bit right. GT makes his though. Good birdie there. Oh, that's very unfortunate spit out there. Mason with about a 9-footer. And then Matt Hall cleaning up a absolute park job there. Unfortunate bogey there for AP. Hole 14 is 569 feet. It's pretty straight all the way. This first tree here on the right gives you a little bit of a ceiling. There's a left to right shot over the road potentially, or a right to left under this little gap on the right that we're just passing. If you land up in this area here, you're going to have a great reasonable, oh gosh, dizzy, great reasonable second look for birdie. The baseball field, if you get blown over there by the wind, is OB on the right side. That doesn't really come into play typically. Not nearly as much as the street anyway. Mason Ford takes the box from AP. And it looks like he's swinging it wide. That's another route I didn't even mention. Nice little skip up there. He will have kind of a ceiling to contend with on that right side, but it shouldn't be anything too bad. Matt going with the big roller. Oh, jeez. I don't know if it kicked off that pylon, but it sneaks back in, and that is amazing.
No call? No nothing? Looks safe.
Sorry, Matt. That's my first time doing a catch cam. I had no idea what to do with my life. GT, this is the first route that I was mentioning. Low under those trees on the right side.
Great shot.
And that is perfect. That's, I mean, I don't think you can throw a right-hand backhand any better than that. AP goes a little wide. Skips up. Had some commentary from one of the other cards that was just coming off hole 16 actually. Mason with pretty stable forehand here is. It looks like, is that a felon? AP, nice clean shot. That'll be a tap-in bird. GT maybe with a little run here, tiny bit short. Maybe 10 feet for birdie. Matt running it. And this should be star frame. Easy birdie for Mason. Matt with about a 7-footer there. Hole 15 is a par 4 520-foot hole. It is really pretty simple. You can go directly at the basket here with the line the drone is on. You can also lay up out here to the left of these trees. No one will be taking this particular route because it's narrow. There's probably going to be a turnover for all these players. If you can get it up into this area, that's really great. It's should be a pretty simple birdie for most of the card, I would imagine. A little bit of low ceiling on the approach, I suppose. Mason up first. Pretty good rip. Oh. That's still excellent position.
Probably gonna be a 3 though.
Matt, roller angle again. Gets over.
I think it'll be okay. Well, maybe not. Not like that.
Girl.
And that flirting, absolute flirting with the OB. It did turn out that he was in bounds, so I'll ruin your surprise. GT, I just noticed him kicking that dirt. I think Big Germ mentioned it in some other commentary. Kicks it to get the wind. And that's the pull. Nice turnover. Gets through everything. Gets past that little nice landing zone I was mentioning in the fly-through. That might even be a circle 2 look. AP, nice turnover. And catches a little tree there, but he's also past that little row of defenders. Mason's got ceiling to contend with. Not a lot, but...
Go.
And
There you go.
If I had to guess, I'd say AP has about 120 feet or so. It doesn't hold over on that any side, but very reasonable birdie look. Matt from No Man's Land. Pretty casual little putter approach. And that'll be a birdie. GT with that long run. Not bad. Tapping. Oh, no. A little bit wide right. And Mason doesn't know what to do with himself. He's still not up. Probably about a 14-footer here. And that's brutal. Absolutely brutal. Birdie for Mason there. AP. Just came out not clean. Unclean? That's not a good word for that. GT taps in his bird. Matt. Matt and AP will clean up.
Yeah, I was.
And hole 16 is probably the toughest hole on the course. It's 673 feet. Maybe 700? I don't know. The gap here, this dead straight gap, is a good line to start it on. If you can sneak it through these trees later on the left side to that left part of the fairway. Is it a left fairway? I don't know. Anyway, you can get it to skip and flare into here. You got an open shot at the basket. It's two fairly long bombs though to get it there. And really an early tree is a ton of trouble off the bat. This green is weirdly shaped. There's a little ditch to the left, kind of left side of the camera. Oh, hi basket. And then there's another ditch to the right.
Nice,
Come on, Win.
That's an amazing line.
Yeah.
And he gets his skip.
There we go.
Yeah.
And that's that area I was talking about. Skip into that left fairway. Give yourself a very reasonable approach.
Oh, get around.
Matt,
Keep going.
a little right, but he made it through that first gap. Kind of catches some clover and stuff over there. GT. Oops. Tiny bit high. And I think it's stuck right behind that tree, unfortunately. AP, great line. Riding pretty flat, and he also flares into that center fairway. GT left with a pretty terrible patent pending out from behind that tree. Really, if you just get distance, get yourself in par range. That looks really well done. Okay, so there are those are kind of thinner trees over there, so probably not a huge issue. Matt, looks good. A little bit right. That's that that downhill little dumpy area to the right that I was talking about. AP crushes one dead straight right at the basket. That is 4 feet. Mason with that blue disc again. I think it's a felon. It flies like a felon.
Down.
Oh, it did. Good shot.
There we go, Bubba.
There we go. That's nice. Probably about, I don't know, 15
How
feet.
did it pick up?
Here's GT playing from that little spot. It's fortunate to sneak through them and have like a clean look from the far side.
Yep.
Or from the basket side, I guess I should say. Matt just leaves it a little low. So he'll take a par. Mason with a tap-in bird. I think we missed AP's tap-in. GT with a good 4 save. Like legitimately hitting a tree early there is brutal. So to make the 4 there. Hole 17. It's 333 feet. Pretty straight. There's a couple of lines. The straightest is through this teeny tiny gap that the drone's gonna fly through. But over that picnic table is pretty good. There's also a bit of a hyzer route that brings these trees right here to the right into play. But it's usually an easy par if you do happen to catch a tree early. Mason pulls that pretty flat. It doesn't come out until a little later. It's gonna give him a little look. He's got about, I don't know,
why
probably close to 60.
You and me.
AP with a pretty good line.
Point. Oh.
Oh yeah, very
Nice
nice.
shot.
Past the basket, so probably got that around 340, 350. Matt, following that AP line. Oh,
Ooh.
little tappy tap. Maybe fortunate. It's
That's how you drew it up.
still a pretty good
I would've
position.
preferred no tree action.
GT needs a skip. A little short. Breeze is a little bit right to left there. That does favor the hyzer route if you can float one up there. Looks like he's having trouble deciding. too much hyzer. He did float it there. He got the distance. That's pretty key. Mason with that looks better than I thought actually. I was thinking a solid 60, but probably about 45, 50 maybe. Matt inside the circle. Beautiful. What a bird. AP's putting woes continue. Oh, touch high, but I mean, it still could have fallen. Pretty unfortunate that it caught the basket and still didn't stay in. Caught the cage, I guess I should say. AP, solid putt. Still a bogey though. And that's too easy of a hole to be making bogeys. Mason with his par. Hole 18 is dead straight, low-ish ceiling, 367 feet or so. Most of these players, you're going to see them come in from the right side of this tree here in the middle of the fairway. There's a ditch here that kind of collects something that doesn't skip over it or catch the upslope and flare. But, oh, hey, what's up? Some random guy jogging by. Maybe a tiny bit low. Catches ground. That is not likely to be birdie region. Mason, good turnover. Kind of a late turnover to flat. And gets around that one tree to miss. And that's a magnificent throw. AP trying to follow that same route. A little bit wider maybe, and a tiny bit shorter. He catches that ditchy upslope deal, and it gave him a little bit longer putt. GP, that's a good looking pull. Maybe a little high. No, it comes back, misses the horizontal on that one tree, the guardian tree. And Matt with a lefty flick. He had mentioned that his shoulder, he had hurt his shoulder. There we go, AP. Great putt. Solid birdie. Yeah, Matt had mentioned that he hurt his shoulder the day before this. And so he wasn't throwing any forehands. And yeah, I guess, you know, righty forehands. It's kind of surprising to see him throw that lefty. And so cleanly, too.
There you go.
Great birdie from GT. And Mason's closer than Matt off of that drive. That is an outstanding drive. And there we go. So because the Tournament Central was close to hole 6, they teed off there. We're going to hole 1 now as whatever tee number. It's dead straight, 300 feet, not much to speak of. But yeah, the reason they started on 6 and kept it as 6 is, you know, on the scorecard. I don't know, but I just went with it. That's a nice little skip and parked. Mason's on a bit of a tear.
I've seen it all after it was
AP, birdie straight.
Nice shot.
Misses a tiny bit left and a tiny bit short of that ace run. GT wobbles a little bit out of his hand. Stay a little straighter because of that, I think. But that's still inside 25, I would imagine. I would estimate, I say. Matt does not come back. Tiny bit short. And actually maybe not short, but definitely right. Can't tell if that's a helping wind or a headwind.
Yep.
Unfortunately, miss on the birdie. Jumper, so he's outside circle 1. And then AP collects his bird. That's 2 in a row for him. Mason's just rattling off birdies all over. I don't even know how many in a row that is now.
Look at the ring. Bottom ring. Look at it. It's stuck on the bolt.
And then Matt taps in his par.
Bro, lucky y'all were both close.
Good eyes by GT to recognize that ring. Hole 2 is 613 feet. I think it's actually closer to 6. I don't know. I'll have it on my thing. Mandatory right of that tree we just passed. And this is the best landing area. If you can get to here, this is great. This tree here is an absolute crush. If you somehow get past that. And this basket is actually elevated today. So it's on about a, I don't know, 6 foot, 5.5 foot pole. So elevated, it can get treacherous in the wind because it's so exposed.
There you go.
Flattens out. Remember that tree that I said was a crush? Yeah, that's
Yeah, buddy.
Mason Ford just passed that by a little bit, so huge, huge drive. AP trying to match it. Nice little turnover. And reasonable, maybe about 15, 20 feet short of that tree. GT.
Going.
And that is smushed.
Yeah.
Oh, gets the horns of approval. Everyone's thrilled.
Stay up. Stay up.
You can see Matt with a little bit of that shoulder injury. Didn't quite get it there. I'm kind of surprised he didn't go roller because once you get past that Mando, it's pretty wide open. So he doesn't have much because of the ceiling. He's going a big hyzer and skips it around that last tree perfectly and into the circle of trust. Circle of friendship? I don't know.
Hey, Torm.
AP slides his up, takes advantage of that sidewalk that surrounds the basket. That's purely decorative. It doesn't mean anything. It's not a hazard or OB or anything. Mason hits that plastic. Oh, it hits the plastic. Hits the sidewalk, slides up. GT, very casual flick here. Spiked a little bit, but yeah, that's all, as you can see, very reasonable putts for birdie. We're going to have another star frame here. This is my favorite. Everyone trying to get putters out of an elevated basket.
There you go.
See how Mason does. Oh, clean. Oh, flops the dismount. AP, another birdie. That's a turkey for him. And GT. Elevated, schmelevated, I guess. Hole 3, 453. It is long and straight. There's a little bit of ceiling, I guess, I would say, but it's not significant. It's not this time of year anyway. But yeah, dead straight. Bomb it as flat and straight as you can. If you can get something to turn over and ride that gap, that's awesome. There are some hyzer routes, but crush something flat and let it hyzer out. Mason.
Around it.
Whatever that yellow disc is, he's using it to great effect. Oh, catches a tiny bit of that tree. Doesn't hurt much. AP. There's that little turnover. Full flight. And he gets through those trees also.
Hey.
Pretty good.
That was a
Look.
quasar.
I have no idea what the numbers are on a quasar. GT.
Go, baby, go.
Dead straight. That looks like it's going to hyzer out a touch early. That's still, like, if you can get past that ring of trees, it's an open approach. It's runnable. There's the roller from Matt. Looks like a different disc from before. Maybe a tiny bit less stable. And it kind of puts him in very reasonable upshot range. or
No.
run.
Oh.
Great
Good job,
effort.
Maddie.
GT4's birdie. Ooh, low the whole way. AP. Mason.
Yeah,
Oh,
baby.
Yeah.
so clean.
There we go, Mason.
AP collects his par. GT with his par. Forget if Matt tapped his in, but yes, hole 4, another must get along with number 1. It's only about 314 feet. This low ceiling from this tree on the right side is pretty much the only thing you really have to worry about. Slight left to right favors a forehand for like the widest, safest route, and a little turnover is fine too. But right in that 300-foot range. There's Mason. That blue one again. And Park. I have no idea how many birdies in a row. He's been birdieing since 18. Oh, he didn't birdie 17, so I guess. AP choosing the disc. Forehand or backhand. He chooses backhand, and does it get there? Just about. Maybe a little bit right. Matt will be going backhand because of that shoulder injury. Maybe backhand mid? Turns over and bit short. GT took a little off of that one, I think. And ends up a little short because of it. Good effort from Matt. GT with the jumper. Still a little low. That's 2 in a row he's missed. Slightly low. And an air ball from AP. It's a very wobbly putt that he's got. I've got a wobbly putt too. But he has a lot more risk. It's easy birdie for Mason. GT with the par. And Matt taps in his. Someone commented like, oh man, some gallery. No one even clapped. Hole 5 is the final hole because they started on hole 6. It is dead straight. It's not quite as far as that basket is. The basket is actually on this right side here. There. It's where that little PVC pipe is. It favors a little forehand line. Oh, Mason with that blue one again. It was a felon. I figured that. I'm glad we had angle of that. Yep, that's a good line. And finds that gap perfectly.
Yes,
And that should seal it. I mean, I haven't mentioned the scores at all, but GT just keeps sliding. I mean, it's not even any of his fault. Mason, you know, birdie on number 3 from Mason is just a bonus birdie and a half. Let's see. Misses all the trees, but kind of ends up behind that last one. This could be a weird putt. GT actually is needs a birdie here to take solo second. I don't know if he's been score watching,
Yep.
but the chase card, what is it? Freddie, I think his name is. I'll have it at the end here, but yeah, shot the course or tied the course record with a 12 under. Matt a tiny bit high.
Yeah.
GT slams it home. Very excited.
Yep.
Matt gets his par.
Yeah.
There we go. AP with the birdie. Mason was a winning putt. And there it is.
Yeah.
Almost tried to sneak out the back, I think. Mason Ford, the This is a mouthful. Golden Crescent Disc Golf Club presents the 39th Victoria Open, a HOTT Tour Qualifier winner. Congratulations, Mason Ford, on your outstanding victory. Well, that wraps it up from Victoria, Texas. Mason Ford, remember that 12 under I mentioned being the tying the course record? That was demolished by Mason today. He finished 14 under, beat the course record by 2 strokes, 34 under par overall. GT Hancock managed to hold on to second despite a valiant effort from the chase card. Anthony Perkins and Matt Hall tied 4th and 5th. What am I saying? That's not how ties work. They're tied 4th. Freddie Meza was actually the chase card player who dropped the 12 under, leapfrogging AP and Matthew Hall. Thank you everyone who played and participated. Thank you very much to Golden Crescent Disc Golf Club. Wallace Hall, the tournament director, always puts on outstanding tournaments in Victoria. If you have the opportunity to play one of his events, it is always a joy. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. Your subscriptions help me buy better cameras for the next time I do this, so I'm not using Walmart tripods and smartphones. As always, thank you for watching, and hopefully I see you on the course.